All right, y'all. It's another episode of Kayfabe Cowboys. I'm your host right now for today, Shad Harris, and we have.
Yo, so you're just joined by, probably the most illustrious, the most eclectic, eccentric member of the Kayfabe Cowboys crew. It's your boy GA, and we here to talk about the graps, man. No straps. Stud line. Stud
Still
line.
alive. Put your straps up. So let's start this off with a nice little icebreaker question, shall we?
Okay,
Okay.
let's do it. Let's do it.
So if you were a trash '90s wrestler,
Ooh.
who would you be?
So is the object to be as trash as possible?
Yeah. You want to be the most memorable person.
The most memorable for being trash.
Yeah.
So like trash gimmicks or just trash in ring? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to
Trash
figure out
gimmicks, mostly trash
trash
gimmicks.
gimmicks.
I mean, if you trash and ring as well, then you know those brownie points. But mostly we talking just trash gimmicks here.
I would say probably for trash gimmick, give me some. I'll be Repo-Man.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why repo? Why big repo?
Because I mean, Big Repo's entire gimmick was like he was just stealing niggas' cars and shit. Like he cut a whole promo on Macho Man for stealing his hat, and he was outside of the arena in the snow, just like talking trash about stealing Macho Man's hat. So Repo Man, be careful, man. Keep everything, you know what I mean, bolted and taped to the floor. Now I'm coming to get it. It's the Repo Man. I'm coming to repossess it.
A follow up question. Follow up
Uh-huh.
question.
Okay.
What would the Repo Man gimmick look like in 2024?
Um, I would say it wouldn't be more so still like stealing people's things. I think he would be a person that steals people's gimmicks.
Okay. I thought he was gonna go like full scammer. He got the full face mask on.
Ah, oh, so he might have a card reader. You
He
know what
got
I'm
a
saying?
card reader. That'll be his
Yeah,
finisher, the card reader.
he walk past people in catering and just jack all of their credit cards and shit.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I was thinking more so like stealing people's gimmicks, stealing people's moves.
I can see
Yeah,
that. He'll do the
yeah,
RKO. He'll do a little crossroads. He'll do it 5 times to make sure it's effective.
you know
You
what I'm
know.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not gonna be as effective because it's the cheaper version of it. The
Right.
lesser
Right.
of the real finish.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, man.
So I was thinking when I asked you that question, like who would be my trash gimmick, and most
Mhm.
people go Repo Man, but I'm gonna go Berserker. I don't know if you
Ooh,
remember Berserker.
I remember Berserker.
Berserker was he had a sword. I don't know what his gimmick was. If he was a Viking or something.
His gimmick was just being trash. He was like he was just like he was served up as a jobber that seemed like he had a gimmick that could be something that would be believable and he'd be able to like actually inflict harm, but he was terrible. I
I
say
don't
he
ever remember him winning any matches. I don't know his finisher. I don't know none of that. I just remember he had on the big fluffy boots.
yeah, his finisher was getting pinned.
Yeah, pretty much, because he was super trash.
Yeah. Oh, I almost wanted to be like, oh, I could have been the gobbledygooker.
The gobbledygooker, he was bad too.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I could just been like just like a fat ass Thanksgiving turkey out there, like serving up sides. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, since we
Yeah.
start that off, let's go ahead and get into the show, right?
Okay.
So first and foremost, I feel like it's kind of important to kind of talk about like what stood out for you this week. Like we had a lot of things happen. We're recording this on a Tuesday, so we had Raw happen last night, which
Actually,
was
today's Wednesday. Today is
oh yeah,
Wednesday.
that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
We just had the greatest day in the entire year
There you
was
go. There
yesterday.
you go. You
So
going into business for yourself. Go ahead.
yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, so my
Happy birthday, brother
I
Shad.
appreciate it, man. I deeply appreciate it. In the depths of my soul, I appreciate that. But yeah, yesterday was the greatest day of the year, so I'm kind of baffled on what day it is.
I
So
mean,
okay, so
you look like you got a glow about you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're content. You know what I mean? Like your soul is at peace and all is right with the world. You know what I'm saying? You got a glow. The additional year looks good on you, brother.
I appreciate it, man. I'm trying to moisturize better, trying to, do all the
Shea butter, baby.
shea butter, exfoliate, trying to do all the things, right? You got to do all the things. You got to make sure that you're prosperous, right?
True, true,
So,
true.
all right. So Monday we had Raw, which to me the highlight was the Jey Uso and Bron Breakker promo. Now, and the thing I like about it, let me hop into the thing. Hop and I'll let you go. I love when wrestlers say phrases that I didn't expect they would say. So he's like, "I'm gonna walk the dog on you." I was like, I
No,
appreciate that.
I'm a
Oh yeah,
dog
yeah.
walk your
Excuse
ass.
me, excuse me.
Yeah,
Get it right for me. Yeah, he said,
yeah,
"I'm a dog walk." I'm like, oh, I love that. I
yeah,
love my wrestling to have hood phrases in it.
yeah,
So that was the highlight of my week. Yeet.
yeah, yeah. That whole interaction between them is kind of cool, and the fact that they're making reference to the fact that they have like prior generations in the business, and
Mm-hmm.
that Bron Breakker just keeps talking. Like let's dive into their promo a little bit.
Okay.
So they talk, he talked about how no member of Uso's family has beaten a member of the Steiner family, which is true. They never had like, a one-on-one or anything like that. And I believe that the Steiners were always in a different federation than the Wild Samoans or the Head
Actually,
Shrinkers.
actually, the Steiner brothers fought the Head Shrinkers WrestleMania 9.
Mm.
I come with facts.
The Steiners were in WWF that
Yeah,
early?
yeah, they were tag
Wow.
team champions.
Wow.
So yeah, I believe the Steiners won that too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool that they're drawing, they're making reference to to the past, and the real shit. We know that I mean, their fathers were in the business, but also what was cool about it to me was the fact that they damn, that Bron Breakker talked about how he, what I mean, he didn't need to use his family's name to be
Mm-hmm.
popping. That was cool because they've never made mention of why his name is Bron Breakker or anything like that on TV, other than like, why can't he just be Bron Recksteiner or Bron Steiner or something like that? Like, but the fact that they're leaning into that is dope. So I really, so I can rock with you on that moment.
Yeah, and I agree with you said. I agree with that a lot. The only thing I don't like is that they never mention who his family is.
They did in NXT.
Yeah, but I feel like they should do it now. Like he's the son of, Rick Steiner, Big Papa Pump is his uncle. Like they need to mention
Mhm.
that for that to make more sense, or that for that to hit a little bit harder than what it did. Because otherwise, it's just like, yo, who's his people?
Yeah, I think get your man's.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like it could be one of those things that if he's put into a major program for WrestleMania, the WWE media department is going to put together like a hell of a video of
hmm
all of that's going to be on the forefront. So they might just be waiting for the right moment to actually bring that to the forefront. So
Okay. Okay. So what stood out for you this week, though?
all right, so before I get into my moment, those of you who are watching this, there's nothing wrong with your set. There's nothing wrong with my eyes. I'm not suffering from any sort of like light sensitivity or whatever.
You could have
I'm
pink eye.
I could have pink eye. Yeah, but nobody farted on my pillow, so I don't have any bacteria in my
Okay.
eye. I felt like I needed to spice it up because we're Sans Legend this week. So
Uh
I
huh.
felt like
Uh
I
huh.
needed to add another level of, what I mean. So these shades are just me adding legend to the, to the podcast because he's
But
very
he's
splashy.
but he's not a shades guy though.
He's not. But I took an opportunity to go into business for myself, and I just wanted to look good. You know what I mean? So I figured I would. But for me to deliver what my memorable moment of the week was, let me look. I want to look y'all right in the eyes,
Mm-hmm.
so that y'all can understand how serious I am. And shot, we're recording, right?
We are
So,
recording.
all right. To me, the new classic of Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, big meaty men slapping meat, is the most illustrious thing that happened on this week's episode of Raw. I think the direction they're going with this could be the new and improved version of how when Sheamus and Cesaro had the whole, like, they was just beating the hell out of each other for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then they
Mm-hmm.
became an odd couple tag team. Can you imagine they're gonna put on some hella matches, like memorable moments, all of that. Like that tsunami outside of the ring onto the table, like
Yeah,
that just
yeah,
took out, and then they followed it up the week after. Like, I mean, they were just throwing each other through walls.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the catering got destroyed. You know what I mean? Yo, Bronson Reed threw a man at
Right,
Braun
right, right,
Strowman.
right.
I've
I was
never
watching that
seen
earlier.
I've never seen a man be used as a projectile. Like I've seen I've seen the rolling chairs at ringside. I've seen chairs. I've seen kendo sticks.
Uh-huh.
I've even seen cakes, pies, and watermelons on different holiday versions of the show. But he threw a whole man. Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah. He like a fragile fella. He look real thin and light. Like you could just
yeah,
toss that man around.
yeah, he was slightly built. I can
Yeah,
give
yeah,
him that.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Very slender guy. They
Yeah,
call
he
him
ain't been
Slim.
he don't live. He ain't in
Nah,
shape.
not at all.
But yeah, I think it'd be dope for them to, they got to put on a series of matches, and then eventually, like after they beat the hell out of each other, they're gonna come to a common ground where they're like, "Yo, if we did that to each other, imagine pause if we inflicted that, that no Diddy, if we inflicted that type of punishment like on each other, nobody else on the roster can fuck with us. So like, why don't we just team up and we just run ruckshot over the entire tag team division?
You want
Like
them to team up though?
eventually, I could see it happening.
I still
Like,
think this is Bronson's time to be like not necessarily the man, but like to be like a monster heel. Like he took out Seth. He's pretty much taken out R-Truth and The Miz, and now he's having like all these like crazy like battles with Strowman. So I feel like they're kind of building him up to be like the next big monster heel right now,
I
and
can see
so
that.
they gotta like keep going with that. Like I need him to have a strong match with Strowman, but ultimately beat him too.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. But unless they have some sort of like definitive, like major story line, major story stuff planned for Bronson Reed, which would be dope. I'd love to see him get the strap, one of the straps.
God,
Pause.
yeah, that's crazy.
But but if they don't, just imagine like what the team of Bron and Braun could do.
And don't let him throw the other Bron in there. It's a triple B.
Dog, man, I'm telling you, man, shoot, big
Right?
baller brand. You know what I'm saying? That'd be crazy, yo. That'd be crazy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But that stood out to me this week, man. The fact that it was just like it was no flips, it was no gimmicks, it was like no choreographed moves, nothing like that. Like we're just gonna beat the hell out of each other. I'm strong, you strong. We're throwing people. We're going through walls. We're going through tables. Like you know what I'm saying. People are almost dying.
Yeah.
That's how I like the big man wrestling. Like just beat the shit out of people and then like just pop ratings. I love it. It's classic.
I love that they took Braun Strowman back to like what made him pop, which was like just tossing over like random cars and just doing a whole bunch of strong stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like for the past, ever since he came back, he hasn't really did anything of significance. But I feel like just him going back of like, yo, I'm gonna just toss everything around me. I'm gonna pick up tables. I'm gonna toss around chairs, cars,
Salads.
yeah, everything. I feel like that's gonna get him back on the path that he needs to be. Even though he needs to lose, I feel like that's gonna kind of get him back right though. You asshole.
Yeah, I feel you. They're going back to the the grassroots of what Braun Strowman is, and I dig it. Like when he flipped over that golf cart or whatever that was the other night, man. I ain't gonna lie, I smiled a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was dope. The Big Show fan in me really enjoyed that.
The Big Show fan, Big Show ain't never did nothing like that.
Hey man, Big Show had random feats of strength on Nitros and on Raw.
Nah, not really, dog. Not really. He wasn't really doing too much.
We'll do some research. I'll send you some clips.
We'll do some research and get back to you.
Well, it's the Big Show.
So the next thing that I feel like it's only right that we talk about, we had this on our docket beforehand.
We did.
Is that even though the main topic of our last episode He's long gone. Odyssey Jones.
Yeah, another
But
black job lost.
another black job loss. But now we're still moving full steam ahead with the New Day breakup. And my question for you, brother Jervis,
Mm.
is it too late for the New Day to break up? Do we care?
All right. I never think it's too late for somebody to break up because if the relationship is run its course, it's run its course. But you know how sometimes on the outside people can see like, yo, these two ain't meant to be together. Like, how are they staying together? And they just manage to just stay together in spite of what everybody thinks. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the New Day has been doing. Like, there's been so many major red flags. I'm ignoring all of them because we spent a lot of time together. We have a lot of good photos in the album. We, you know what I'm saying, we bought a house together. We bought cars together. We got a lot of things co-signed together, so we might as well stay together. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Xavier Woods he's up to here with Kofi Woods' shit. And
Not
if
Kofi Woods though.
yeah, him too. Kofi Kingston. My bad. My
Yeah.
bad. I'm thinking of Tamaloa.
Oh yeah.
But I think if done appropriately, it can be a really good breakup story. And the way that Xavier was like really irate about it, it was a good thing for me. The only thing that I'm scared of, not necessarily scared of because it could be a good thing, the fact that they just started mentioning Big E.
I feel like they should have mentioned him a long time ago.
Yeah, but what scares me about the breakup is I don't think the breakup's going to happen. I think WWE is very intentional with what they mention on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the insertion pause of Big E's name into this entire ordeal, I think they're forecasting that Big E is probably going to get back involved in a program soon, and they're going to stay together.
But he's
So
not wrestling though.
we don't know. I mean, you don't know. He had the whole stem cell procedure in I believe in Mexico. So I mean, we never know. Like they've been very mum on what Big E is doing physically.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be something where he ends up coming back and becomes in like a management role and takes a bump here and there and actually gets back in the ring. But I hope that Xavier stands firm on like being tired of like Kofi's shenanigans.
Okay. But all right, so if they break up, which it looks like they're heading that way, do you care though?
Yeah, I do.
I don't think you do. I don't think.
Because
I felt the hesitation in your voice. I kind of feel you don't care.
so I care only for the reason that it's something that I wanted to happen for a while, and the act is is getting stale, and I think they both have something to offer individually, and them just being like stuck in this tired ass gimmick is what I mean is becoming very monotonous. So I'm excited for the breakup just because it could be a good thing for both of them independently, or if it because Xavier said in the ring he said something's got to change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
Maybe this becomes them just being just like it's actually a new day and they just become like some badasses and they just start like just beating the hell out of people. Maybe that could be it. I don't know. But I'm excited that this is a pivotal moment in both of their presentations on screen.
So I have to hop in and say that I'm not excited. Like, even
I'm
though
surprised.
even though I'm completely like tired of them, like they haven't done anything at least for the last 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, it's way too late. It's too late, dog. Like y'all should have did this back when Big E like lost the championship or when he left y'all. Y'all should just went y'all separate ways because now they mean absolutely nothing. Like it's like they're barely featured on programming. They lose all the time. I can't tell you the last time that they won. Um,
Well, the last time they won was before Kofi Kingston started experimenting with wearing them shorts.
yeah, and that's been a while ago.
Yeah, that was such trash fest.
Yeah. I feel like if they break up right now, all they're gonna do is both of them are just gonna be jobbers. Kofi might retire because he's old. He's probably like 44. and
Yeah.
and Xavier don't really got any upward mobility. Ain't like he's gonna be like U.S. champion or IC champion,
Well,
anything like that.
I could I could see him getting into the secondary title picture. Woods. I could see it
But to
happening.
win it though,
Yeah, I mean, not immediately, but I could see him getting into that picture and picking up some meaningful wins. Maybe getting into an elimination chamber, putting on a good match. Um, being a standout in the Royal Rumble. I could see him building momentum to being something that could be credible. Because I mean, the dude is what, like 2 years removed from being king of the ring. So it's not like they look at him like chicken feed. You know what I mean?
hmm
Like they see some value in him. So I think something could happen from it. And he's a good promo. He could talk.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's one of the biggest things about one about these main guys. Like if you can, and he's a damn good wrestler in the ring. But if you can be consistent,
He's very meh. Like he's solid, but meh.
well, I think he's hamstrung by the tag team thing. But like when he's had solo match, like he be pulling off moves in solo matches. I was like, damn, I ain't know that was in his move set. Like I
Every
think
time I see him in a solo match, I'm like this is very like I'm yawning instantly because
Well, I mean, the shows come on late. We have toddlers, so I be
yeah,
yawning
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. But even before I had a talent, he would pop up in the ring. I'm like, where's Kofi and Big E at? Like he
Uh,
does nothing in ring for me. What I was gonna say? Oh, this is what I was gonna say. I feel like if they break up and they push Xavier Woods before they push Montez Ford, I'm gonna write. There's no way in God's green world or
but
earth.
they're on different shows though, right?
True, but if they start to push Xavier before they push Montez, it's gonna be a problem.
I can I can rock with you on that because I need to see some sort of movement with Montez Ford. Like even if okay, if you're not gonna make him a singles, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like make the get like put the tag belts back on the Street Profits on
Yeah.
SmackDown. Like do some like show like you got to give people some sort of payoff that A, you're listening to what people are saying, and B, you have to do something with this tag team to actually make them credible, other than them coming out there and stirring red cups. You know what I'm saying? What makes them so pop? Yeah. What makes them so popping other than BFAB? When you see them on TV, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if okay, they got cool spots, but you got to get them some wins. Like
Right.
you got to make them credible. Like it can't be like Street. Oh man, Dawkins is really getting in his bag. Montez Ford has the frog splash from the heavens,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't win anything. So
True.
like after a while, like who cares if you got a mean ass killer crossover and a step back and you can't score? Like you know what I mean? Like
Just Euro stepping for nothing.
yeah, you swerve when you know what I'm saying. Like you doing all that and you're not scoring.
Right.
Like my nigga, stand out of the perimeter. Like let him dribble.
Yeah,
Just let
yeah,
him
yeah.
dribble. He's not gonna shoot. So
Right.
I think they need to. I definitely think they do need to pull. You know what I mean? Two different ways. They need to pull the trigger on something with Street Profits or Montez, but they also need to pull the trigger on Xavier Woods. Get him, give him a go.
I would be much more satisfied if this same angle wasn't the New Day, but it was the Street Profits.
It could end up being that way.
If they did the exact same angle with the Street Profits, I would love this. I would be up in arms. I would be ecstatic about this. But because it's New Day and they're way past their breakup time, which should have been 3-4 years ago, I just don't care. I don't care, to be honest with you.
Man, what if if they run that angle with the Street Profits and part of Montez is like disdain is that like you never took wardrobe serious. Like
That's his whole beef.
his whole beef is like you wear basketball shorts with a singlet. I don't like it. We do public appearances. I have on a 3-piece suit. You got on sweatpants and a hoodie. I'm
Uh huh.
tired of this.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
like I saw something where they went to I think it was at the Celtics games or something like that, and Bianca and Montez were looking like, you know what I'm saying, looking like they were the prize on Price is Right,
Uh-huh.
and Dawkins just looked like he was at the Performance Center, like,
Right.
and they got
Oh.
introduced in front of the crowd. That was the joint that tripped me out. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
my nigga, I know your mama taught you better than that. I know my mama did. Like, if you gonna be in front of people, like, you gotta put your best on.
Put something
Like,
on.
y'all
The
saw the
whole
last,
promo could be around. You make me look bad.
yeah,
That
y'all
could be
saw
all.
like. Y'all saw the last in-person episode we had. Shy had on the Sunday Sexies. Like, he listened to his mama. You know what I mean? You
Very
gotta
true.
look good when you're in front of people.
That is
I ain't
very
like
true.
that. I don't like it. I don't.
That is very true. That is very true. Okay, let's get on to our next topic, and I think this is our last topic for the night. We're gonna keep these episodes short and sweet, to give you the people exactly what you're looking for and what you need.
Hey,
So
I did it for the Rock.
I did it for
I
the
did it
Rock.
for the people.
Shout out to Big Keish.
Yeah.
So this is a thought that kind of popped up in my head a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at a Mercedes Monet match,
Mm-hmm.
and
That almost fucked you up.
yeah, they had me all tongue tied. You know, I got a thick tongue. Pause.
Oh, shit. Yo,
But-
who you? Terry Crews?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Them double M's about to give me the fits.
We'll take you up out of here.
But yeah, I was watching a Mercedes Monet match, and I realized that this match was very trash. I'm watching the highlights from it because I don't watch AEW like all the way through. So
That's where the best wrestle.
yeah, I guess so. Where the big boys play. So yeah, I was watching the match, and I like, this is very boring. Like, she doesn't really do anything spectacular for her to consider herself like the best women's wrestler in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me think about all of her matches that I've actually seen in WWE, in which she might have had, let's say, 3 great matches. Everything else is just passable. And then that thought, that kind of morphed into, is Mercedes Moné overrated? But then to go a deeper, darker, it made me think, like, are all the 4 horsewomen of wrestling overrated?
Ooh. Damn.
The reason I say overrated is because WWE kind of paints the picture that these women saved women's wrestling with their great matches, great storytelling, like all that type of stuff. And outside of the Bayley Sasha NXT matches, maybe the triple threat that they had at WrestleMania that year, the Bayley Sasha like Hell in a Cell from COVID was pretty dope, and a handful of Charlotte Flair matches.
Right.
Those were like in the Charlotte and Rhea match from last year's WrestleMania. Outside of that, and they've been doing this for close to 10 years, they're not really that great.
Oh man.
So,
Damn.
what's your tease on that?
Wow. Like I was fully prepared to like speak on Mercedes Moné. But that one kind of just like threw me for a loop, because like just thinking about like when the 4 horsewomen of WWE were a thing, or they were the 4 horsewomen of NXT first. They were putting on some fire matches. Their presentation was amazing. I think the biggest thing that they like contributed to women's wrestling is that they were women wrestlers. It wasn't like divas. It wasn't like, you know what I mean, we just some bad janks that happened to stumble upon the Performance Center, and like they weren't Eva Marie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, no shade to Eva Marie. But they, you know, they really were about the grabs. But I think as wrestling has evolved and things have become different, I think that their acts have become stale. I'm happy that Becky Lynch is off TV for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like we were force fed Becky Lynch for a while. And that's not her fault. It was just the women's division was kind of weak. Like she was the mainstay. She was the one that could, you know, that could that could fit in and cut a promo with anybody. She, she's very serviceable with whatever style opponent she has. Charlotte Flair sometimes puts on really good matches. Other times it doesn't. I don't know. She just doesn't. It just doesn't feel organic to me sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Like when she. I think we were force fed her for a while.
Yep.
Like
because as soon as she comes back, she's automatically in the championship picture.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, just because of her name and like the fact that, like, don't get me wrong. Like, she's very consistent in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And she has one of the most memorable moments I ever seen in women's wrestling, where her and Nia Jax like really was fighting in the ring.
Yeah.
That was dope. That made me gain some respect for her, because she took it and she dished it back out.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to Bayley. Like, I never was on the Bayley train.
Outside of those NXT matches with Sasha, I can't think of anything remarkable that Bayley has done, to be honest with you. And she has she has two of the weakest finishes I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, they're terrible.
Yeah,
they're terrible. The rose plant and the
belly to Bayley.
The Bayley to belly, like, it's yeah, I mean, they're very lackluster. But I was never like, I mean, I respected what she did. Hugger Bayley was when she was her most over. Right now I could see her like falling to the mid card, just because of the amount of like women wrestlers that they're bringing in. When Stephanie Vacar, I think I'm saying that right, Vacar.
Vacar.
Yeah.
Vacar.
Yeah, with her, Julia, Roxanne Perez. You throw in somebody like a Jada Parker who could talk that shit and like, she surprised me in the ring. The stuff that Soul Ruka's doing. Like Lash Legend is like a phenomenal powerhouse.
Yeah.
When all of those women like evolve into being on the main roster, like, where do those Four Horsewomen fit in with that? But then the wild card of that bunch is Mercedes is no longer in WWE.
Right.
So her weaknesses are being exploited and put on Front Street, because,
And I feel like she doesn't do herself any favors, though.
She doesn't. Like, and AEW doesn't do her any favors either.
True.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, she never really could cut a promo. That wasn't her strength in WWE. I always felt like she needed a manager. She needed a mouthpiece. She needs one now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's so much that her, her style in the ring isn't really getting over anymore, or if the women's division at AEW isn't good enough where she can actually like really put on good matches.
Right. And her finisher just looks trash, so it makes like everything she do look trash.
That's bad. Like, I could like go back to the what was her? Was it
the bank statement?
The bank statement. Go back to that. Like, at least that's, I mean, it's a submission. I could kind of believe it. That wasn't one of my favorites. I really didn't like that, but it's way better than what she has now.
True.
Yeah, man. I mean, some of her moves are cool. Like the Meteora, that's pretty cool. I think she's done a few Canadian destroyers. I've seen her do a Hurricane Rana. Like, she's pretty good in the ring, but if she's in there with somebody that's green or their movements are too stiff, she's not gonna look good. So, right. So I kind of want to give her the benefit of the doubt, just because like that women's division over there is kind of hit or miss, and they haven't paired her with anybody really that can help her put on a good match. I would have liked to have seen them do a series with her and Willow Nightingale.
I feel like they can always run that back. I feel like the match with Britt Baker was supposed to be way better than it was, but just from the highlights, that looked like the trashiest match I've seen in a while.
But see, so Britt Baker had been off TV for a while. I think she had an injury or something like that, so she was coming back. I don't think that they have what WWE has, like, as far as the Performance Center. Like,
yeah, they definitely don't got that.
Yeah, when people are injured in WWE, when you see them back on TV, they've been working for 2 to 3 months getting back in ring shape and getting their rhythm and their flow and their charisma back. AEW just seems like, all right, like she's cleared. Let's throw her on TV.
Put her back out there.
Yeah, and you know, and shout out to Britt Baker. Like I liked what she was doing a little bit before she got hurt, but to just throw her back out there, coming fresh off an injury or fresh from being on TV, they're not doing her any favors. Like
True.
It take a while. Just like Shannon Sharp says all the time, like you only get in football shape by playing football. So like you can only get in wrestling shape by wrestling, and they need to have some sort of performance center where they can get in and they can get that time and they can take them bumps and get calloused to running the ropes again.
Yeah, and they don't do house shows either, so you can't even do it. Get back in ring shape without being on TV. So that I feel like that's a downfall too. So
they doing too much, man. Like they're trying to present themselves like a WWE, but I don't think that they don't have the cachet. They don't have the following to do it.
No, not at all.
The arenas they're in are, they're too big for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. I mean, Tony Khan's a billionaire and AEW is just his plaything. So
pretty much. So to finish out this topic, would you agree with the Four Horsewomen being overrated or not?
Today?
Yes.
Today. Yes. They've been they have a whole lot of like star power and a whole lot of equity built up with the fans just because of everything they've done, but it doesn't hit the same anymore. You know what I mean?
True.
And that's not a slight. I don't want to seem like I'm talking shit about them, but like it just don't hit the same no more.
Yeah, I agree. And they need to bring back Thick Becky. I feel like before she had a baby and she had a little bit more weight on her, she had better matches. Skinny Becky ain't really doing it.
I need Becky back with the goggles and the
with the smoke.
Yeah, I need that Becky back. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if we need that. I need like the man back, the fresh joint when she first came back.
Well, I'm talking about like that. I ain't talking about so much the presentation of that version of Becky, but when she like in ring, that she was at her best when she was Becky with the smoke and all.
Yeah.
Like she was like, I mean, but people get older and they change their ring style. They might be a little bit safe. So
okay,
it is what it is.
Okay.
I like Becky 2 belts though.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah. So let's go ahead and wrap this up because we both got toddlers that we got to tend to. So where can people? What you about to say?
We go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Icebreaker. I got a what would I call
Hold on. How you have an icebreaker at the end of the episode?
No, I'm saying you had an icebreaker, so I'm trying to think about what it would be called. Let me I don't know, man. Let me I have an unthawing moment for you, I guess. All right. So, gun to your head. Who's the greatest tag team of all time?
That's a great question.
That's why I asked it.
So are we saying the best, or are we talking like my personal favorite?
Do both. Do one of each. The best and your personal favorite.
And we're not just talking about WWE, right?
No. I mean, because if you're talking WCW, that is WWE. So
right. So if we're going that, then I'm gonna have to say the Legion of Doom or the Road Warriors, just because they were like monsters back when there weren't no monsters for real.
Yeah,
they were like they're pretty much the team that all other teams were kind of based around. So I would say that. And I just like their style for all these years, even after they dead and gone. Like I feel like they were like the greatest big man team of all time. I'll probably say like my favorite.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. My favorite. I really don't have a favorite tag team. When I was growing up, I was gonna say like the Rockers. Those are the team I used to like, you know, when I used to catch them on like tapes and stuff. But outside of that, I really don't have a favorite tag team. Like I want to say the Hardys just because, but I never was really super into them like that. Yeah,
The
all
Hardys.
that. So what about you?
So for me, I'm with you on the best, the Road Warriors, like
Yeah.
Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, Hawk Animal. There's a reason why when somebody gets when they gets a crazy reaction from the crowd, it's a reason they call it a Road Warrior pop.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I believe it was Wembley Stadium when they came in there at WrestleMania. I think it was WrestleMania.
Those are SummerSlam joint.
Okay. When they came in there, on the bikes, bro,
Mm-hmm.
and like the crowd just went crazy.
Yeah.
I went crazy. I
Right.
remember I had the I had the Legion of Doom action figures with the spikes and whatnot. I used to paint my face like Hulk. Like that was yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you could plug them in anywhere. You could plug them in
Yeah.
WCW, WWF, WWE. Even they ran wild over in Japan too.
Uh-huh.
So like they could wrestle, you know what I mean, with pretty much any style and get over. So I think they definitely were the best. Um
Yeah.
my favorite though, aside, you know, putting aside my bias for the Road Warriors, my favorite growing up was probably the Steiner brothers.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I can
you
see
know, I
that.
mean, the Steiners, like like Scott's presentation. You know, I mean, he's very athletic. I mean, some of the stuff that he did was like ahead of his time.
Way ahead of
Um,
his time.
and then to see like his stature as a man, like he's a big dude.
Right.
Like to just like off the vertical hit of Frankensteiner, like it's crazy. And then like and Rick Steiner was like it was crazy. Like he was like the B act of the Steiner brothers, but he was really like the glue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the way that he would, work up to get the hot tag to get Scott in the ring. Like it was dope, man. So they were my favorites, man.
Okay. Cool. So thank you for joining us for another episode of Kayfabe Cowboys.
Hey, we went on a nice little ride.
Nice little ride. So where can people find you at, man? And they can find us at. Go ahead and just plug the show and everything too while you at it.
Well, you can find me at the next Jada Parker fan appreciation meeting. I'll be
The meet and greets.
at the meet and greets. You know what I mean? I'm the president of the Jada Parker fan club. But also you can find me on Instagram at it's Zach Morris, all one word. You can find me here on the Kayfabe Cowboys podcast. Also you could find me somewhere probably throwing shade at Legend for not being here on the episode. So
Shout out to Legend.
shout out to Legend. Shout out to Legend,
Yeah.
man.
All right, and you can find me everywhere, Shad Harris, ShodHarrs, as well as Kayfabe Cowboys, where we're working on bringing you guys episodes every week on a very consistent basis, giving you hot takes, thoughts and opinions, remarks, comments, all that and more. So, yeah, got a little tongue tied on that one too, but yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, I think the name of this episode got to be Thick Talk.
Thick Talk. Thick Talk. That's it right there.
Yeah. Oh, before we go, like I just want to throw this out there. We all have to make sure we bear witness to the greatness that Shawn Michaels is cooking up on NXT, because as they're going on to the CW, I think they are really going to change the face of like what their version of wrestling is. And they're going back on the road, so I think they really going. I think NXT is going to give AEW a run for their money. Like it's gonna be some good stuff, man.
I could
I'm
definitely see that.
excited. I'm excited.
Me too.
Get bouncy.
Get
Javon.
bouncy.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we out. So stay tuned for another episode coming up next week or whenever we decide to do one. Y'all be good.
Peace.
All right.